Solomon. I want to thank all of you because I want to listen to this very first. Let me appreciate all the Edo people all over the world. Even sort concerning this matter of Clem Agba, palace-related matter and all of that. I've always said it, that when it comes to issues surrounding matters of palace, that's the only issues that I can ever continually discuss about. Now that it concerns the palace, I want to talk about it. Some of us were in the palace that very day. It was on Thursday because it happened to, that was the day I went to present the woman I wants to marry to His Royal Majesty by wearing second. So some of us saw everything that transpired. While some persons want to start reading political meanings to it, the palace has always maintained is a political stand. The palace does not get involved in the matters of frivolities of politics, as well as the palace has always maintained that stand. So the issues of Clem Agba being childed by the Oba of Benin is what I will refer to a father correcting the son, the mistakes of his own son. Clem Agba might have been a junior minister, but he's not an ASAP for minister. He's a minister from Edo State. I know a lot of persons want to draw comparisons as well between Clem Agba and Andy Ihanire something. The other minister, the one that was minister for her, I don't even know his complete name. As a matter of fact, tragically, a lot of Benin people doesn't even know, or Edo people doesn't even know if that one exists. Itano Edo ave iranome bakba akbalo. Ihanire does not have political value. So His Royal Majesty even criticizing Ihanire is wastage of criticism. So when people are now saying that, why was Clem Agba criticized and Ihanire not being criticized? And you cannot criticize someone who doesn't have a political electoral value. Let me not say he doesn't have a societal value, otherwise that would have been demeaning to him as a person. But for us as a Benin, we like to speak the truth to power the way it is. So for us, Ihanire is a failure. And I don't think he has any futuristic venture. So I don't think it is even right for the palace to waste his criticism on that kind of a person who, for the 8 years that he was a minister of health, I don't think that he helped even his immediate family members, not to think about the generality of Edo people. So I don't think we should, there are no basis for making criticism of comparing Clem Agba with Ihanire. If you are comparing Clem Agba with Ihanire, it means that you are also belittling the capacity of Clem Agba. That's how I see it, because for us, the Benin people, Ihanire is a wastage of that slot if we were ever given. So it was opportune. It has ruined his opportunity. So I don't think anybody should waste their time criticizing or ever trying to do comparison between Clem Agba and Ihanire. I'm not trying to belittle one in order to raise. I'm not a fan of any politician. I don't like them generally because of how they behave. So coming back to Clem Agba generally, I don't think criticisms are best very good for politicians, because I don't think any politician to see himself bigger than the traditional institution of the Benin people. I don't think any politician presently in Edo State is bigger than the Benin traditional institution. So when people who have seen leadership at the very apex of organization criticizes the younger generations that are coming up, they should take it in good faith. Let me derive an example into the second term gubernatorial election that brought in Obaseki and Philip Shaibu during when both parties, APC and PDP, went to see His Royal Majesty. The person who was criticized the most or the most was Philip Shaibu. But today, Philip Shaibu seems to be, in the present government in Edo State, seems to be the closest person to the royal house. That I cannot authenticate, basically on precept of body language, because it is a very rare occasion. It is very rare for you to see the Oba of Benin attending public functions. But he followed Philip Shaibu to go open the palace of Ogienene. I think that's the name of his king. And that is a rare privilege that very few persons can ever get from the Oba of Benin, and which he did. It means that he sees him as a son. Philip Shaibu took the criticism, and at the time when he was criticized, these same people jubilating now said the palace at that time was biased, that the palace is not meddling into politics. They are the one who is happy because the shot is no longer to them. But at the time where one of their principals was being criticized, or both of their principals were criticized, they said that the palace was biased. I wonder if the whole scenario were turned around, whether they would have been the one doing a lot of live videos and saying that Clem Agba received woto. So I can only say that criticisms are good. It makes people to think, to understand that they are accountable to the people. Questions of very quality questions were asked, which I feel that Clem Agba should try and respond to, and instead of taking the criticism as part of being a public office holder, because it's when you're a public office holder you get scrutinized, and when you're being scrutinized like one of the highest traditional authority in Africa, you should see yourself as being privileged. And that's how I see this thing. So basically, it is not the criticism to belittle Clem Agba. It's a criticism to correct him, to do better and do better, because probably he has a futuristic ambition. And like I said, the Hanere doesn't have any ambition, so there's only criticizing those who do not even have an ambition. So that is why he was criticized. And he's not an ASAP minister for people to start doing comparison that what's another criticize, I'm not criticize on now. Those are childish. Those are childish talk. All right, he was a minister representing Edo State, or a small minister. But I said that in order to be, if you want to belittle Clem Agba, maybe you can compare him with the field Hanere, who was the minister of health. So on the feeling, so so you should take that criticism in good faith, because the criticism, it's to spawn him to do better. And who they happy today if he cry tomorrow? Those who are currently jubilating are those who are publicly, in their actions in a couple of years, in the past 2 years or thereabout, has brought shame and reproach to Benin Kingdom. So I don't see any reasons why anybody should feel bad, that anybody is happy about the current criticism that the palace, in their almighty knowledge, has sort of bestowed on Clem Agba. Funny circumstances, But however, the people who are currently happy, I'm sure that they are aware of what their boss or their principal, the sort of atrocity they are even their own principal committed, and we are with. Okay, I'm not into palace things, so I'm sure that they are going to avoid the palace. And I'm sure that their own candidate is not going to go close to the palace. Otherwise, their own candidate is going to also receive a fair share of criticisms. So the Agba that we have now is in tandem with, he has interest in things that go on in the society. So he completely understands everything that is happening on the social media space on the reality basis. So questions will be asked, candidates will be scrutinized, and criticisms are a part of the things that we must inject into Nigeria politics to make constructive criticism, to make it a viable democratic practices. So basically, I don't think anybody should pick offense. But if maybe Clem and I think that the Agba of Benin cannot criticize him, he would have been going towards the direction of a journey of no return. Otherwise, people like us as Oduwa will always be here to speak truth to those who they will speak truth to. So the point is, he should take it in good faith, brush up himself. Yes, he can be criticized by the Agba of Benin and by the Edo people in general. So brush up yourself, and the palace never said that you shouldn't have an interest in contesting for any political position that he wants to contest for. He was only criticized based on some of the things that he did that he didn't do right. So correct those things that you didn't do right, and probably you become a better leader tomorrow. So for those who are currently very happy on the current situation of Clem, as funny as the situation might seem, but asigbe agbohi no vie of the wakwe no give na ga vie wakwe. So eri only tyset. So ebi na gui Oba Oyedo, Oba Tokbe, Oba Shokbe, he said